Joe Pags Show. Call 210-737-1200 or 800-383-9624. And now, Joe Pags.
Hey, great to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks to Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations across the land. iHeartRadio, joepags.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, all right there on a Friday. Strings. Where are my horns? Ah, that was Carrie. Way to bring it, girl.
No, it wasn't.
Wait a second.
No.
That's talent. What day is it anyway? Where's Bob Guthrie?
Friday.
Thank God it's...
Thank God it is Friday.
Yes, it is. Come on.
Friday.
Uh-huh. Thank God it's...
Thank God it is Friday.
What the heck? Let's make it a Free Speech Friday. Let's go.
Free Speech Friday.
Freedom. Uh-huh. Say what? Bring it now. 1-800-383-9624. joepags.com. Whatever's on your mind, fair game. If I know something about it, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll move on. The Electoral College, the electors are slated to vote on Monday. On Monday, they will, in fact, make Donald Trump the official president-elect. He is already. He will be the president on January 20th. There's no doubt that's going to happen. But now we're hearing some crap about 50 electors want more information on the Russian hacking. The Russian hacking, which, by the way, is fake news. I think we have to re-examine the definition of fake news. The left really screwed up by even bringing this up, by even pretending that there is fake news on the right, because what they're really doing is exposing themselves to being the fake news on the left. They really are the fake news. You've got fake news stories about how great Hillary Clinton's been for children and for minorities and all this stuff she's done. None of that's true. In fact, you know, her mentors and her idols are some of the biggest racists we've ever seen in our lives. You've got the fake news about Barack Obama fixing the economy. It's horrible, the economy. About how unemployment rate is 4 point something. No, it's not. You're not counting all the people out of the workforce. There's a lot of fake news out there, fake news stories about all these. Hey, Carrie, why aren't these women suing Donald Trump today? Who he says they all said that he assaulted them.
Not sure. Haven't heard from them since. Actually,
no. Give us an update on the 11 or 12 women who all said that he attacked.
Well, there is no update.
So, in other words, if you become the president-elect, all that goes away. Is that how it works?
No, I don't think so.
So it doesn't have to go away.
No, it doesn't.
So if it were all true, they'd still be pursuing it.
I would say yes.
But have we heard anything since he won? From
no,
them?
Not a peep.
Nothing.
Not that I've heard.
Nada. Nunca. Niente. Zilch. Squat. Bupkis. Goose egg. Zero.
Got it.
But suddenly, that's not fake news at all. I mean, I don't know. Sorry to say, sad to report. That, in fact, turns out it was fake news. The allegation that he somehow raped a 13-year-old. You heard about this one, too. Remember Lisa Bloom was going to come out and was going to have this big news conference and canceled it at the last second?
Didn't do that,
And then a judge threw out the entire case because there was nowhere near enough information. It didn't make any sense. Nothing corroborative. No information saying that it actually happened or that he was even anywhere near the place. This, Pedophile Island they call it or something? Mm-hmm. That Bill Clinton went with that guy or whatever it is?
Oh, yeah.
So we've got all this stuff going on. All this fake news out there against Trump. I mean, every single day was fake news against Trump. And now you got Obama out there acting as if it's been, it's solid science. We found out through internet technology that Russia did, in fact, hack the DNC in the hopes of helping Donald Trump win. And we knew about it before the election, but we were pretty confident that it wouldn't affect the election, so we decided not to say anything. And then he went on. Actually, let me give you the soundbite about Russia and the BS he's trying to put out there now. None of this is provable. In fact, there was a hearing. The CIA was to appear before the House Intelligence Committee today, Friday, and didn't. They just canceled it. No reason given. We're not doing it. Because there is no information. Remember, we had Pete Hoekstra on a couple of days ago. There's no information that will bolster or back up or corroborate anything that people are saying about Russia hacking anything. And again, nobody denies the veracity of the emails that have been leaked. Nobody says, well, what's in the emails is wrong, because it's all true. So we're getting this from WikiLeaks. The information is true and good and verified by their lack of denial. So why would he lie about where he got it? Because, again, Julian Assange is not an American. He's not necessarily a Trump fan. He's not a person who is trying to expose one political entity over another political entity. He's trying to expose the truth, he says. And so far, he's been right on. Nobody has been able to prove him wrong, refute, or rebuke anything he said. So why not believe him when he says, we got the information from a disgruntled DNC guy or operative, it could be a man or a woman, and they said they were sick and tired of the disgustingness of the Clinton Foundation, and they were very mad that the DNC screwed Bernie Sanders the way it did. Because think about it. These leaks did not help Donald Trump. They actually helped Bernie Sanders. The Bernie Sanders voters all found out what the DNC did. All the DNC had to do was not screw Bernie Sanders and not keep on supporting a woman who has a foundation that everybody has reported, and so far, everybody has basically just said, yeah, it's true. This whole pay-for-play thing. All the money that these foreign governments and foreign dignitaries gave to the Clinton Foundation, and suddenly they all had meetings with the Secretary of State, and suddenly she was there doing speeches, and suddenly there was a birthday party for Bill, and suddenly they were holding summits in these specific countries where that money came from. All of that's true, and it made people sick, even on the left. That's who exposed them. But Obama needs you to believe it was the Russians. He needs you to believe the boogeyman. And not only does he need you to believe it was the Russians, he needs you to believe it was the Russians trying to help Donald Trump. What if it was really a Democrat operative just trying to hurt Hillary Clinton because she was hurtable? I mean, think about it. Without the information, they can't hurt her, right? I mean, if these emails in this leak, which Obama said that the media was somehow fixated on it, Carrie, do you think the media was fixated on reporting what WikiLeaks was dumping?
No, I don't think that was the case at all.
I think they were fixated on Donald Trump every day, weren't they?
Yes, they were. They really weren't talking about it, not the mainstream media.
The big media did not talk about it at all. Did not talk about it at all. They ignored it. They acted like it was fake news. In essence, the big media was being fake news by pretending WikiLeaks was fake news when everybody involved knew that it was all true. And they're trying to figure out how to cover it up. So here's Obama talking about Russia today as if it's a fact. That's the way it is. Have a nice day. Don't ask me about it again.
With respect to response, my principal goal leading up to the election was making sure that the election itself went off without a hitch, that it was not tarnished, and that it did not feed any sense in the public that somehow tampering had taken place with the actual process of voting. And we accomplished that.
All right, so he's patting himself on the back. The vote was fair. The vote was real. The vote is in, and we made sure the vote would be above board and there wouldn't be any tampering. End of story. But now he's got to go off on some tangent, making excuses for himself.
That does not mean that we are not going to respond. It simply meant that we had a set of priorities leading up to the election that were of the utmost importance.
These are all lies, by the way. If Barack Obama, who was out there campaigning harder than he has in 8 years for Hillary Clinton to win, if he had the ability to say Russia is hacking in order to help Hillary Clinton, or to help Donald Trump and hurt Hillary Clinton, he would have said so over and over and over again. He's now alleging, and he did this today a lot, that they knew about this before the election but decided not to do anything until after the election. That's a lie. He was using taxpayer dollars and Air Force One to fly around the country in support of Hillary Clinton. Michelle Obama was out there in support of her as well. If they had information that Russia was adversely affecting her chances, they would have outed it before. Whether he says it or they leak it, they would have outed it. This is not true. He is not telling the truth here.
Our goal continues to be to send a clear message to Russia or others not to do this to us, because we can do stuff to you. But it is also important for us to do that in a thoughtful methodical way. Some of it we do publicly. Some of it we will do in a way that they know, but not everybody will. And I know that there have been folks out there who suggest somehow that if we went out there and made big announcements and thumped our chests about a bunch of stuff, that somehow that would potentially spook the Russians. But keep in mind that we already have enormous numbers of sanctions against the Russians. The relationship between us and Russia has deteriorated, sadly, significantly over the last several years. And so how we approach an appropriate response that increases costs for them for behavior like this in the future, but does not create problems for us.
So he admits that the relationship has diminished. It's bad. It's gotten worse in the past few years. Well, why has that happened? Wasn't it just 4 years ago where he was sitting there with Medvedev telling him, hey, let Vlad know that after the election, I'll have a little more freedom and leeway to get some things done. He's like, yeah, I'll tell Vladimir. Why did they deteriorate? And did he just admit that he sucks when it comes to relations with Russia? Relations that were actually very good when George W. Bush left. Remember, Vladimir Putin was riding horses and eating barbecue with George W. Bush and Crawford. He was also scared to death of what Bush would do if Russia acted out. And then suddenly Obama comes in and the Eastern Europe defense shield, the rocket launchers, they're all gone because Obama was afraid. And then he's kissing up to Medvedev when they were meeting on an open mic before the election in 2012. I mean, here's a guy that has been a paper leader when it comes to world affairs. What has he done to really show the world, hey, keep in mind, we're still the strong guy here. We're going to be nice to you, but we're still the big guy. We're not going to take your crap. He just admitted that he screwed it all up. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Stay right here.
This is the Joe Pags Show.
Hey, great to have you. Welcome. It is the Joe Pags Show, 1-800-383-9624. I'll pick up where I left off with Obama, explaining about, we're going to punish the Russians and the Russians this, and our relationship has deteriorated over the past few years. Yeah, your fault. And so on and so forth when it comes to these, what he keeps calling hacking when it's really leaking. Somebody at the DNC leaked this information. By the way, Russia says enough is enough. I mean, we're not going to listen to your crap anymore. Carrie will have that story for us in a second. We'll get to that coming up, but I want to give you a little bit more on what the president had to say today. And the bottom line is he's trying to figure out how to make this stick to Trump, and how to make this not about him, and how to say we did know about it, just didn't release that we knew about it. I mean, he's basically just running in place. It's not making any sense, a lot of what he's saying.
Is something that's worth taking the time to think through and figure out. And that's exactly what we've done. So at a point in time where we've taken certain actions that we can divulge publicly, we will do so. There are times where the message will be directly received by the Russians and not publicized. And I should point out, by the way, part of why the Russians have been effective on this is because they don't go around announcing what they're doing. It's not like Putin's going around the world publicly saying, look what we did, wasn't that clever. He denies it. So the idea that somehow public shaming is going to be effective, I think doesn't read the thought process in Russia very well.
I mean, he went on to say, so you're actually saying that we should believe Russia, who's denying it, over our own intelligence? Yeah, imagine that, the CIA lying to us. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Crazy. No way, they would never do that. Disinformation doesn't exist, does he? So we have that for you. Russia now has responded, because keep in mind, all they had to do, all the CIA had to do, and the FBI and everybody else, because all of a sudden Comey now says, oh yeah, we agree with the CIA, even though last week the FBI didn't agree with the CIA. Now today they do. So all they had to do was go to the House Intelligence Committee hearing today, bring the information, tell the story exactly how it's happening, make it happen. Go ahead and lay it on the line, even if it's closed door and classified, whatever. Let these people on the Intelligence Committee know, here's how we know, here's who it was, here's how Putin's fingerprints are on it. They canceled that hearing. They canceled that today. There's no good reason for it other than Obama probably said, I'm doing a news conference with a beer. Don't do the meeting. And so they don't do the meeting. They don't present whatever information they allegedly had, which probably isn't much. And then Russia responds this way. And this is exactly what Russia should have said. And I'm not on Russia's side. Don't misunderstand me. I'm on our side. But I'm certainly not on Obama's side who's going to lie about it. Russia has now called their bluff. What did they do? Carrie, if you can, give us that story.
From Newsmax, President Vladimir Putin's spokesman's expressing dismay at U.S. accusations of Russian meddling in America's presidential election. Dmitry Peskov said Friday in remarks carried by Russian news agencies that the U.S. should either stop talking about it or finally produce some evidence. Otherwise, it all begins to look unseemly. Peskov made the statement in response to President Barack Obama's comment Thursday. Obama promised the U.S. will retaliate against Russia at a time and place of our own choosing. Obama said that he spoke directly to Putin about it. Russia's fiercely rejected the accusations of hacking. Putin's foreign affairs advisor, Yuri Yushakov, said the two leaders discussed the issue at a G20 summit in China in September, and Putin gave a very clear answer.
So they're just saying, put up or shut up. Mm-hmm. You keep on yapping about us. You're trying to turn the world against us. You're trying to say that we interfered, and I'm here to tell you we didn't. So prove it or shut your face. And instead of proving it, he just says, because it's true, because I say so, because I'm Barack Obama.
And who was it? The president or maybe an advisor, I thought, said today that we aren't going to see a lot of that evidence of the Russian hacking because a lot of that's classified material.
Yeah, it was the president. So that's what we get. It's classified. We can't do anything about it. You'll never know. Just take our word for it, because Obama's never lied. Like your doctor, keep your doctor. Like your plan, keep your plan. He's never lied. We're going to keep unemployment below 8. It went up to 10 under Obama. He's never lied. I mean, honest to goodness. You can go down the list. Fast and Furious. I mean, all of it. If I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. Hands up, don't shoot. Invites Black Lives Matter and Al Sharpton to the White House. Oh, the man's he's out for us, right? He's looking out for us. Well, he wouldn't lie to us, would he? And again, I'm not here to say, hey, go Russia. I'm not doing that at all. What I'm saying is just prove it, and then we'll shut up. You can prove it without giving the quote-unquote classified information, or you can go and prove it in front of a House Intelligence Committee hearing with closed doors because it's classified. You can do that. It's allowed. It's not happening. I wonder why that's not happening. It's so weird. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. We'll go to the phone lines and say hello and welcome to, I had an Obama on here. I think it's David in San Antonio. David, got about a minute. Make it happen. Come on.
All right, real quick, Joe. First of all, thanks from a bunch of us for giving us the straight poop all the time. I have a request, if you would, someday to fill us in on Joe Obama and all his czars and what they've been up to and what effect they've had on your areas of appointment. Don't get a lot of opportunity to look into things like that, and I haven't heard it talked about in a long time. So if you'd accept that challenge, we'd sure appreciate it.
We'll take a look. What else is on your mind? Come on.
That's it, brother.
That's it. You want me to look into the czars? Okay. All right, David. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right. So let's be looking into the czars and what they've accomplished, if anything. Not a whole lot. I mean, he has a billion czars. And remember that early on it was the czar of this and the czar of your ass and all that stuff. I don't know what they've done other than an internal operation to weaken our standing in the world. You know, why would he want to do that? Because he doesn't want us to be exceptional. He doesn't like colonialism, doesn't like how we got here, doesn't like how we became the United States of America. It's a very, very strange thing to understand because so many of us are so in love with our country and so patriotic. So pretty interesting. I don't know if it's a challenge. I'll take a look at it. We'll see. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Keep it right here.
This is the Joe Pags Show.
great to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks, The Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations across the land. iHeartRadio, joepags.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. I'm on gab.ai. Just look up Joe Pags or put in gab.ai/Joe Pags. It's a new social media network. Carrie, have you posted anything yet?
I have not.
So what exactly is the issue? Is there a reason why you're being this person? Why can't you just post something?
Why does it bother you so much?
Because I think
about
that you should.
My social media
I'm trying to help you. People, I think, people really try to rely on you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they can rely on me.
No, they really can't. You got 45 followers, and you haven't given them anything yet.
I have not.
No, I mean, nothing.
I know, yes.
What you've said is, beep, the followers.
I have not said that. That is not true.
And you actually have a chance to keep up with me over there. I only got 873 followers.
Well, I'll probably never get that on Gab, but...
Why not?
I need to...
We're in on the ground floor. If you're not on Gab, go to gab.ai and then sign up for an account. Do we know how long the waiting list is now? And by the way, I asked them to hook you up, and you went right past the waiting list and still have given them no content.
And
Zero
I
content.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You know, you've added to the Gab nothing.
You're right. It's true. It's true.
But you've given them. And by the way, just a note to those who watch on Facebook, and a lot of people there call themselves the deplorable dorks. Let me just make a note, because you'll see a lot of people come in, then they'll leave. They'll come in, then they'll leave. They're like, what is this? What's that music? You're not hearing the radio feed. You're hearing the pre-network feed. In other words, during the commercial breaks, we play some monotonous music during the commercial. You're like, what is this music? Why do you keep playing this? Oh, why don't you pick something else? No, shut up. I'm giving, you know what I mean? I'm popping on the video in case you're not near a radio, in case you're not near iHeartRadio and you want to listen to the program or you want to see the program. And if you want to talk to people, by all means, stop on by, but don't complain about it. It's not costing you a damn dime. And again, on hold, we're not playing the commercials, or not on hold, but during the breaks, we're not playing the commercials. We are giving you just like monotonous over. Dun, 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 dun. A lady actually got so sick of the during the break commercial. Or music, or not the non-commercial music, that she I guess her daughter heard it so often. The girl's like 4 years old. She did a little dance to it, and they sent me the video of her dancing to the commercial break music. So cute. It's being embedded into people's brains now. That music. But again, this is the actual show. It's 3 hours a day, and this is how what is it? You're going to do a radio show. Why don't you do this, that, and the other, and stop playing that music? What's the matter? I actually had one guy write me. He said, you can't get a sponsor? We've got a ton of beautiful sponsors that we love, all of them.
Yes.
And again, I always urge everybody, listen on the radio. That's the experience that we do it for. Or watch it on the Newsmax TV when we do an hour a day there. But if you don't have that ability for some reason, I do pop it on the video on Facebook. So shut up. Don't complain. You know what I mean?
Right. I do hate that music, but... yeah.
It's like if somebody handed you a free hamburger, you say, oh, dude, there's not enough pickles on this. No, just eat it and shut your face.
Free. Exactly.
Not costing you a damn dime. All right, 1-800-383-9624. Give us that story on the Electoral College, if you don't mind.
From CBS and AP, a handful of members of the Electoral College, including a rogue Republican who says he won't vote for President-elect Donald Trump, are demanding an intelligence briefing on whether the government is investigating links between Trump's campaign and Russia.
Okay, stop.
10 elected.
If you don't mind, I have to interrupt, because you see what we've done here now. We've gone from the fake news story that Russia hacked the DNC. Also hacked the RNC, just didn't release it. Then we find out the real news that Russia didn't hack the RNC, and between you and me, it didn't hack the DNC either, that the RNC was not hacked at all. That's sort of gone by the wayside. Nobody's talking about that anymore. Then we hear from WikiLeaks that, in fact, the information was leaked, not hacked, and it was leaked by somebody inside the DNC, but none of that seems to matter. What does seem to matter and this is from CBS, so this is a story that the mainstream media wants you to believe. The liberal left, alt-left, radical mainstream big media, they want you to believe that you have to take the Russian hack as fact, because then this story makes sense. So go ahead and pick it up from there. The electors want more information because of the alleged Russian hack, right?
Right. 10 electors on Monday released an open letter to Director of National Intelligence James Clapper requesting information about ongoing investigations on ties between Trump and Russian government interference in the election. The letter released on the social media site Medium was written by Christine Pelosi, the daughter of top House Democrat Nancy Pelosi of California. None of the electors is likely to vote for Trump anyway. The votes are cast on December 19th. 9 are Democrats, and the sole Republican to sign the letter is Chris Supran, a Texas paramedic who says he won't vote for Trump, citing a Federalist paper by Alexander Hamilton that says electors must determine that the president is qualified and independent from foreign influence. Supran attracted national attention with the New York Times column last week, in which he said Trump is someone who shows daily he is not qualified for the office.
Okay, stop.
The letter says,
now it gets even deeper, and I want people to turn the radios up and listen clearly, because now it gets even deeper, more incendiary, and even more ridiculous. Now give me the story from KHOU in Houston about Chris Supran, the guy that you just mentioned. He is the faithless Republican delegate that says he will not vote for Trump. Remember, I went on Twitter and called him out, and I said, come on, call the show right now. Make it happen. Oh, you've got to set that up for my people. Shut up.
oh, yeah.
You'd be lucky to be on my show. So give us this story now, because this is the guy who has made claims that he was a first responder at 9/11, right?
No, you want the update or you want the story first?
The story that I just gave you, is there an update after it?
No, the update's at the top of the story.
What?
Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't have the update. What is the update? That in fact, he was there?
Well, he responded on Reddit today. Chris Supran said he worked as a firefighter in Dale City, Virginia on September 11th, 2001, but there's no listing for Dale City on his publicly available and comprehensive LinkedIn resume. In September 2001, according to Supran's LinkedIn resume, he was employed by the Manassas Park, Virginia Fire Department. Supran also does not list being a firefighter in Dale City, Virginia on a recent lengthy 7-page paper resume, which WFAA obtained. Neither Supran nor his public relations firm have responded to WFAA since this story was first published.
Okay, so he'd gotten some national attention because, again, he's not going to vote for Donald Trump. He's a Republican. He just can't possibly vote for Trump, even though the day after the election he said he was going to vote for Trump and that the New York Post or somebody lied about him, that he wasn't going to vote it. He also has stated that he was a first responder on September 11th. So he's trying to say he was a first responder as he worked in Dale City, Virginia. That was his claim now?
Yeah, he said he was among the first on the scene after the third plane flew into the Pentagon on 9/11.
He said that he was a heroic firefighter who was among the first on the scene after the third plane flew into the Pentagon on 9/11. I mean, again, there is no proof whatsoever that he was a first responder there. He claimed to be a first responder with the Manassas Park, Virginia Fire Department on that fateful day. He said he was fighting a fire that day at the Pentagon. Then he said, no, I was on a medic unit that day at the Pentagon, and you make a phone call to Manassas Park, and you'll find out that he wasn't even employed there until October of 2001, said a first responder who knows Supran and only agreed to speak with about him if his identity was concealed. The city of Manassas Park confirmed to the Dallas TV station WFAA that it hired Supran in October of 2001, 1 month after the 9/11 attacks. The fire chief there added that his department never responded to the Pentagon or any of the 9/11 sites. So again, even if he had worked at Manassas, they would not have been called to respond. So they would not have been a first responder. But now he's saying, well, it wasn't Manassas at all, but which was on his LinkedIn profile. Now he's saying it's Dale City, Virginia. So now what the media has to do is go back and find out if, in fact, Dale City responded. Dude, this whole thing, I mean, this guy, remember when I was dealing with him last week or the week before? Remember what he was saying? Because he was responding to me. He said, oh, well, I've got CNN and Fox News lined up and MSNBC, and they're all waiting. They all went through the proper channels. I'm like, I'm the one calling your ass out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. Call the show. Let's go. And he couldn't do it. The guy couldn't do it. Now, keep in mind, he's a guy who said that he told the Post that he wasn't going to vote for Trump. And then the next day he said, the Post lied. I am going to vote for Trump. It's on Twitter. It's all over Twitter. And then he tried to big time everybody, saying that he's some big deal. Here's a guy that's going to continue getting his 15 minutes because now his lies are being exposed, and that 15 minutes of fame is turning into 15 minutes of notoriety. And at the end of all of this, here's a guy, if it turns out he was stealing valor from those who actually responded that day, he's even lower than we thought. which is very, very interesting. 1-800-383-9624. Quick break here on a Free Speech Friday. Back after this.
This is the Joe Pags Show.
Hey, glad to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks. It is the Joe Pags Show. 1-800-383-9624. JoePags.com. Glad to have you along for the ride. Thanks. A lot of people want to be heard. So we've got this guy, claims he was a first responder. We can't find any record of it. People who worked there at 9/11 at the Pentagon say he wasn't there, but keep me anonymous, you know. So that's hard to sort of follow up on. Then you've got the fact that he said he's going to deal with, he's going to vote for Trump the way he was told to vote for Trump. But then he wasn't gonna. But then the Post said he wasn't gonna. And then he said he was gonna. And the Post lied. And then he said he wasn't gonna. And the reason why he's not, because he just can't, in his heart of hearts, vote for something like that. Then it turns out he's connected to Van Jones through some media outlet that promotes their speaking engagements or whatever. And then he's going to go on CNN and MSNBC and whatever else. And he doesn't need to go on my show because he's big time in me and he's too big a deal or some crap. And I need to call his publicity agent or something, which isn't going to happen. Look, at the end of it all, we'll find out. In this day and age, we always seem to find out. You know, the CSI abilities of people out there who really want the real story, we'll find out. It's going to be interesting to see when it does come out. Let me go to the phone lines and say hello and welcome to Gary in San Antonio. Gary, what's going on?
Hey, Joe, how are you today?
Living the dream, my friend. What's happening?
Just a real quick concern. All of a sudden, and I'm interested in your opinion, when we went through the election, my first opinion was we looked at the balance of power in the Senate, and it was, I think we knew the Republican would win in Louisiana, and it looked like it was 52-48. Some recent comments from people on the Republican side, specifically the rhinos, looked to me like the balance of power may have shifted to the John McCains, the Lindsey Grahams, the Marco Rubios, who with just a couple defectors can significantly affect our ability to get confirmation hearings through and other things. I'm not hearing much conversation about it, and I was interested in your opinion.
Well, Gary, I don't know what you mean. I mean, those people that you named are all Republicans. Yeah, they're rhinos. Yeah, they're old guard. Yeah, they're establishment, but they're still Republicans. When we talk balance of power in the Senate, we talk Republican versus Democrat. We don't really talk conservative versus establishment or liberal versus establishment. We generally speak in terms of R versus D. What do you want to know?
Well, I'm concerned that any two of those three who are speaking openly against a lot of appointments and other things, if they choose to vote on the other side of the aisle, Joe, effectively they control the power to affect the outcome.
Well, I don't think they're dumb enough to do that. If they do that, then their careers are over. The populace in this country, the nationalism that wants to be restored in this country, the people who want to change in this country, voted Donald Trump in. That's why he won in an electoral landslide. If these dorks want to act like liberals or Democrats and they've got an R under their name, they won't be long for that job. I think that they're going to wisen up. They're going to figure out that they need to take the side of the Republican president-elect and soon-to-be president if they want to succeed. See, the establishment, Gary, the thing they have in their minds at all times is how do I keep my position and how do I keep my power? They're not going to go up against anybody that they think will hurt their chances of re-election down the line. They are old school, old guard, and they want to keep their job. That's what I truly believe. So I don't think it's an issue, to be honest with you.
Okay, so that's exactly what I wanted was your opinion, Joe, just because I know if a couple of them shift, it does give them the power. But I tend to agree politics won't let them do it, but...
Well, if they shift, believe me, we'll call them out here. If they shift, we'll call them out here. We'll have them on the air and we'll light them up. Because I don't see them do it. Gary, I don't see them doing that. I appreciate you. Because Republicans now, by and large, most of them, are now going to back what Donald Trump is doing, especially seeing how he's acted since he won. And by acted, I mean he's been meeting with people who are going to be on his team, who are going to be in his administration. His transition has gone very, very smoothly. I don't think the concerns they had are still there. Yeah, I mean, I've heard Rubio and McCain and McConnell say some things about some of the appointments, but I don't see them ever voting with Democrats against those appointments. They'd be idiots if they did. I don't see them doing that. 1-800-383-9624. Laurel is in Houston. Hi, Laurel. What's going on? Hello, Laurel.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
I'm living the dream. What's happening?
I just wanted to wish you guys, I've been listening to your show, and I've heard you had some very tough topics. However, all I wanted to do was wish you a Merry Christmas.
No, Merry Christmas.
To you, your family, your household, and also to you and your staff.
Oh, Laurel, that is so sweet. It is so. Listen, it's so nice to hear just a nice Merry Christmas greeting from or a wish from somebody. Yeah, because we do get tied up in these very, intense topics. But I love that. Merry Christmas to you and yours.
And I didn't mean to intrude on your time.
You kidding me? You're not intruding. Anytime.
What am I going to do without you next week? I mean, who am I supposed to listen to you?
I'm here next week.
Oh, you're not going out for vacation?
I might be the week after, but next week we'll be here.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. The week after we'll take a few days off, but you'll still hear my voice. I think we're going to play some interviews and some best of stuff during that week, so you'll still hear us.
Oh, no, and I love it. And I hear from you and with the Twitter and stuff and the pictures that you've been so kind to send to me. I am so grateful.
You're very welcome.
And that's why I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and be nice to Miss Carrie once in a while.
Oh, my goodness. Did you really just go there just now? I mean, it was such a nice phone call, and then all of a sudden that happens. Gotta go.
I can't believe you rickrolled her.
She gets rickrolled.
She called to say Merry Christmas to you.
I take back my Merry Christmas to Laurel.
That's
No, I'll leave the Merry Christmas in. I mean, she knew she was getting that. She knew she waited till the end. She's smart listener. she knew to wait till the very end. All right, Jim is in California. Jim got about a minute. Make it happen. Come on.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening to you now for a little while, and
Thank you.
This email leaking deal. You don't suppose that the Russians hacked it, and 2 or 3 other intelligence agencies hacked it, and 4 or 5 private people hacked it. Everybody hacked it. So what? Who gave it to WikiLeaks? That's the question. And I don't believe that it was the Russians. Based on what you've been saying today and what I've heard elsewhere, I don't think the Russians actually did it. Now, that brings to bear what is actually going on in the media, all the way from the media to the top. And President Obama is trying to sell the idea that it was the Russians that not only hacked it, but they leaked it. And that's the fake news story of the day, and that's the thing that people have to differentiate.
I got to run. I got to hit it. I appreciate you. It's a little bit more than a minute. Keep it right here. Much more to come.
You're listening to Joe Pags. Joe Pags Show. Call 210-737-1200 or 800-383-9624. And now, Joe Pags.
Yes, indeed, do. Glad to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks. It's the Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations across the land. iHeartRadio. JoePags.com on a Friday, Free Speech Friday.
Free Speech Friday!
Freedom. Say what? Bring it out. Take it up a notch. Do-do. 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 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, it's all right there. I'm on Gab, gab.ai/joepags. That is a new social media network. If you hadn't heard of it before, they promise free speech and to make America great again. They say that because Twitter has been squelching and censoring, that they had to go somewhere where that wouldn't happen. And also Facebook, announcing, I guess they're gonna tag news stories with the word news or something. I guess
to try to get rid of the fake news.
Somebody's going to subjectively say what is and what is not news.
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting, because I guess people are stupid, can't figure out what's real and what's fake.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just saw a story. We did a story today, I guess. There's a British survey. 54% of people got their news from Facebook.
There you go.
54%
in the UC is what you're saying.
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
This story is it continues to be interesting. This faithless elector, this guy, Chris Supran. Is that how we're saying it? Supran?
Supran, yeah.
This is, Karina just found this from Mary Troyan over at USA Today. A Republican elector from Texas who's promised not to vote for Donald Trump on Monday has misrepresented his personal work history, according to a news report by a Dallas-Fort Worth television station. The elector, Chris Supran, is not employed by an air ambulance service that he lists on his resume, according to WFAA. And a second paramedic firm said he currently worked for, went out of business actually 8 years ago. State records show Supran is a licensed paramedic. So he wasn't working for the two places that looked like they were going to, I mean, what? So now he's lying about where he worked, according to the reports? What?
He's in trouble.
The news report also questions a key part of Supran's biography, his work as a first responder. On September 11, 2001, an anonymous source told the station that Supran had claimed to respond to the terrorist attack at the Pentagon from his post with the Manassas Park Fire Department, which we told you about earlier in Northern Virginia. But the department said it didn't hire Supran until October of that year. In 2012, Supran told a Philadelphia newspaper that he responded to the Pentagon as a volunteer firefighter with the Dale City Fire Department, also in Northern Virginia. The Texas TV station updated its story Friday afternoon after Supran on Reddit said he worked for Dale City at the time of the attacks. However, the station said Supran did not list the Dale City job on a 7-page resume he recently gave to potential employers in Texas. Supran did not respond to the station's request for comment, and two public relations firms representing him said he would not be available for an interview, according to the story. Federal court records show Supran has spent the last 5 years in bankruptcy. We hadn't heard this angle yet, had we?
No, we haven't.
Well, his resume says he was working. He even collected unemployment during part of it. Court records show Supran was just released from bankruptcy supervision this month, the report states. In an op-ed published by the New York Times December 5th, Supran said he would not vote for Trump when the Electoral College meets on Monday because he doesn't believe Trump is qualified for the office. I'm wondering right about now how Chris Supran feels about writing that little op-ed.
You know what I mean? Sorry he did it. Yeah.
No stone will go unturned. And again, here's a guy who now there are allegations that he's just lying his face off. He definitely lied when he responded to the New York Post on November 9th saying, I'm going to vote for Trump. The Post is lying. So we know that he lied then. So, man, this guy's story has so many holes in it. But the question isn't really whether he's lying, because we're going to find out. We're starting to find out now what's true and what's not. The question really is, how lame is the New York Times that it let this guy write an op-ed that was a lie?
Yeah.
And I'll relate it to myself because it really is all about me at the end.
No, that's so true. So you think.
At least that's what Scylla said. And,
Seriously.
What?
You need to stop calling her Scylla. Elvis called her Scylla.
You think she'd be mad at me? Actually, Elvis called her baby.
Oh, I thought he
Yeah.
called her Scylla. Oh.
Every time she talked last night about what Elvis called her, she said he would say, baby. I'm like, oh, okay, I got you.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So, I mean, he might have called her Scylla, too. I have no idea. But, I mean, definitely called her
he
baby.
did. I don't know. Mm.
And at one point, I'll give you this. He was with this ginger person after they'd gotten a divorce, and they were still in love, and they were very good friends, and they remained friends the rest of his life. He actually called her one night and said, baby, will you please tell Ginger how to take care of me? Hold on. And put Priscilla
Seriously?
on the phone with Ginger. I'm not kidding.
Wow. Oh,
and
man.
and I said, but you didn't tell her. Oh, yeah. I told her how to take care of him. He likes this. He likes that. You should do this thing.
Ginger.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
You imagine?
Wow. No. I could not imagine that happening.
Quite a story. All right. So when it goes back to this guy who's just making stuff up, I mean, it or allegedly is, the New York Times, it's incumbent upon this rag, this alleged news outlet, to now research and find out what the story is with this guy. Okay, he's going to print all this stuff. He's going to write all this stuff, and we want to print it because it's anti-Trump and that's who we are. But we probably should go ahead and check it out first. We probably should make sure that it's above board. And I'll relate it to that op-ed in that local rag, which is a nothing. I mean, it's just a nothing. It's an alternative wannabe newspaper, but it's not even that. It's this alt-left, San Antonio-based, hippie wannabe online mag. But some guy, some doofus adjunct professor, not even on a staff anywhere, decides to write some op-ed in this local thing, and in the op-ed alleges that I am so racist that I made fun of Al Sharpton's hair on my show. Something I never did.
No, he didn't.
They know I never did. And then they proceeded, this person who happens to be black, proceeded to then call out the Spurs for allowing me to play the national anthem at the games, which I've done since. So the Spurs, it did not affect anything. But this guy heard somebody else's show. I never said anything like that about Al Sharpton. I certainly have been critical of the president, but it had nothing to do with his skin tone. I've never, ever said anything for or against anybody's skin tone. That's not who I am. But I've certainly called Barack Obama out on the ridiculous moves he's made. And Al Sharpton's an idiot. Al Sharpton is not a reverend to me. I don't revere him. He's a guy who has been a race baiter, an anti-Semite, and he's started trouble for many, many years. And has still to this day never apologized for the Tawana Brawley idiocy. So to say that he's some sort of a racial leader or activist is stupid. But this guy writes this, and it's just filled with lies and crap. And this local wannabe rag that used to give me an award every year for being the greatest talk show host or some crap. And again, it's nothing to me. I've not said the name of this facility for 2.5 years, and I won't on my show. But I wrote to him, and I said, hey, this guy wrote something here that's libelous. It's defamatory. It is filled with lies. It's wrong, and you need to rescind it or put some sort of a clarification on there. And the response I got is why I've excommunicated that thing from ever being part of my show. And believe me, they're suffering more than I'll ever suffer from not being on the pages there. The response I got from somebody who was in charge was, well, you're more than welcome to write an op-ed in response.
No.
Really? So in other words, somebody can say anything they want about me. They can defame me. They can slander me out loud. They can libel me in writing. They can do anything they want to do. And my only response is to actually give it credence by responding to it. How about you fact check your people before you print it? How about you do a little bit of legwork? It would not have been very hard to find out if I talk like that on the radio. It wouldn't be very hard to find out if I made fun of somebody's hair because of his race. Give me a break. So when this guy does this, it's incumbent upon the New York Times to say, we want you to do an op-ed, and it's your opinion. That's fine. You can give your opinion. But if he labels things as fact in this op-ed, first responder at 9/11 and so on, it is your duty as a so-called journalistic outlet to make sure that those factual things he's listing. His opinion on Trump is his opinion. You can post that all you want. But to say, here's why this guy has credence. He was a 9/11 first responder, and he's a great guy here, and he saved these lives over there, and he put the fires out over there. You better find out if it's real. Because if it's not, you're the idiot. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Stay right here.
Joe Pags.
Hey, glad to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks. The Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations all over. iHeartRadio. JoePags.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. Do me a favor. Throw me a like over on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. I'd appreciate that. I'm actually writing to your boy Chris Supron even as we speak because I can't help myself.
And has he responded?
I haven't sent it yet. I just tweeted to him, a couple of links. curiouser and curiouser. Pretty good stuff there. Let's see. Yeah. Trump. Maybe I'll give him an MAGA as well. Have to make America great.
There you go.
Electoral. Did I spell that wrong? Electoral actually isn't bringing up anything on Twitter. There you go. Okay, and sent. See, the guy can't help but to try to big time me because I've been giving him a hard time for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. We'll see. He actually has been ignoring everybody else. He might respond to me just because I'm under his skin. I'm in his head.
You do that.
And hold on, let me turn my head to the side because I want you to hear what it sounds like in here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
A lot of space.
Echo. Come on, man. What's the matter with me? All right, if you can, because I didn't believe the story, but it's from Laura Ingram's website, LifeZet, so I'm believing it to be real news. Please, can you, let me first, before you read the story, can you imagine anybody saying, I will not serve you because you voted for Obama?
No, I think as a business owner, that's just such a stupid decision. I don't know why you'd want to do that.
Okay, give us the story out of Maine. This is nuts.
From Edmund Kozak, an owner of a propane dealership in Maine, is refusing to deliver gas to anyone who voted for President-elect Donald Trump. Michael Turner, owner of Turner LP Gas in Skowhegan, Maine, recorded a voicemail greeting that leaves little question as to his feelings for those in his community who supported Trump. Thank you for calling Turner LP Gas. If you voted for Donald Trump for president, I will no longer be delivering your gas. Please find someone else, the message states. Mr. Turner isn't the first person to refuse to do business with Trump voters. In late November, Matthew Blanchfield, CEO of an Albuquerque, New Mexico-based marketing firm, issued a statement saying he would no longer work with Trump supporters. But unlike Mr. Blanchfield, who lives in a county that voted solidly for Hillary Clinton, Mr. Turner lives in a county that overwhelmingly supported Trump. Trump won Somerset County, Maine, in which Skowhegan's located, 57.73% to Hillary Clinton's 35%. And Skowhegan specifically, where Clinton performed better than Somerset County at large, Trump still received over 50% of the vote and had a 10-point lead on Clinton. According to rough figures published on Skowhegan's town's website, Mr. Turner is apparently so distraught over Trump's win, he's willing to alienate more than half of his community and possibly sacrifice his livelihood.
Want to make sure I understand.
No kidding.
If I'm a Christian baker and I tell a gay couple that I can't take part in their ceremony because of my religious beliefs, which is, by the way, protected by the First Amendment,
you'll be getting sued.
I'm going to be getting sued, fined, and possibly lose my business.
Yep.
So I want to make sure if I'm a Christian photographer and I say because of my religious beliefs I can't take pictures at your wedding, I'm going to probably lose my business, be fined, and they'll probably steal my camera. But if I'm a gas company owner and I deliver propane so that people in freezing cold Maine can have warmth in the wintertime, I'm allowed to tell them I won't bring you any because of how you voted. Mm-hmm. Did I hear the story right?
You heard it correctly.
Okay, so there you go. That's Obama's America. When Michelle Obama talks about how there's hope now, or that her husband brought hope and now there's no hope because Trump's coming in, her husband did that. She did that. The far alt-left did that in this country. The hate-filled, intolerant alt-left did that. I mean, this guy really thinks he can just get away with that. Whereas anybody who has truly protected by the First Amendment beliefs, they're not allowed to utilize their beliefs and stand by their beliefs if they're Christian. 1-800-383-9624. It's nuts. JoePags.com. Tommy is in Minneapolis. Hi, Tommy. What's going on?
How you doing, Joe?
Living the dream, man. What's up?
Cool. Hey, I just wanted to tell you, I ran across you about a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And I heard you say, hey, you won't get the show. You got to listen to me for a while, and then you'll get it, right?
Yes.
I did that, and I now get it, and you're my favorite show. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons is that you play a mean saxophone, dude.
Thank you, brother. Well, I appreciate. Let me ask you this: Did you hate the show at first, or did you just not get it?
I didn't get it, so I was like, I'd listen, and then a couple days would go by, and then I'd listen to it again, then I finally got it, just like you said. I heard you say it. Give us a chance,
Right.
and you'll never turn us off, and that is so true. I couldn't believe it. When you said that, I go, yeah, right. You're just trying to sell me, right? But no, it is.
Well, I do want to apologize. Listen, I do want to apologize, Tommy, for Kerry, though. But I do appreciate you sticking with the program. What?
No, it's a great program.
Thank you, man.
Really
Now, are you a
is.
saxophone player?
I think it's one of the best. No, but I love music.
Cool.
And when I hear it, it's like you got a lot of soul.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, I bring it the best I can. Well, I love that, man. All right, so you wanted to talk about Obama. What's on your mind about Obama?
Well, he was saying, no, Trump, quit whining and all this, and Hillary's going, yeah, when you think you're going to lose, you start whining. I listened to Obama the other day. He's the one who's whining.
Without a doubt. He's whining his face off, and he's trying to leave office as if he set everything up to, for the win, and Trump, before he even takes office, is ruining it all. It's very strange.
It's very strange. Hey, I got something else for you that I was thinking about.
Sure.
So, if mom's not happy in the house, no one's happy. I would not want to be Bubba Clinton right now.
Oh, yeah, you think he's probably, his life is hell right now, huh?
Oh, are you kidding me? She's yelling at him even more. Go get me a cocktail, get me some. I need my oxygen tank or whatever it is. But I got something for Bill. He should get him. He should get her some of those jammies. Those really soft jammies. I hear him advertising all over.
Yeah, but the pajamagram, sure, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, that's it. Bubba needs to get her some soft jammies and kind of smooth things over for the holidays.
Well, Tommy, hold on. I'm losing my stomach. I can't believe you went there and made me think of Hillary Clinton in PJs. Oh, I got to let you go. Get out the phone. See, the phone call started so auspiciously. It was so great. Mm-hmm. And then I have to somehow think about Hillary Clinton in pajamagram.
Ooh, imagine that.
No. Stop asking me to imagine that. You go to our good friend Jimmy in the Woodlands. Hi, Jimmy. What's going on?
Good evening, Joe.
Hey, Jimmy.
Merry Christmas to you and your gifted colleague, Carrie.
Thank you.
Back at you. I won't rickroll you, Jimmy, because you've been with me too long. But go ahead.
Right. I've been following you for many years.
Yes, sir.
I have a comment about Hillary complaining about a foreign government interfering with the election, Obama too, and saying that Russia did, which I don't believe they did. But
right.
I believe Julian Assange is more truthful. He's more of a journalist than anyone else out there.
Agreed.
But what I wanted to say was, and after I say it, I have one other comment. Is I recall under the Clinton administration, Bill Clinton sent big mouth James Carville over there to prevent Bibi Netanyahu from getting elected, and he succeeded. And then I recall Obama sending his chief of staff over there to try this last election, so Bibi wouldn't win, and he failed. And
that's exactly what happened. We interfered big time. I've got about 30, Jimmy. What is the second thing?
The other thing is, I don't guess we'll ever get together and have a gig or jam.
Well, I think we probably should. Carrie won't let me. She's, I don't know about you jamming with that Jimmy.
I've always been supportive of jamming with Jimmy.
When we do an event in Houston sometime, we have to make sure there's a piano there. We can get it done.
Well, I'd like to do that. Maybe your friend at the has a bar. We do some kind of charity thing.
We should definitely talk to him about that. We'll be out there again eventually. All right, Jimmy, we love you. Merry Christmas right back at you. I'm sorry he mentioned Carrie. I didn't rickroll him, but I can't rickroll Jimmy in good conscience. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Stay here.
Joe Pags.
Hey, great to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks. It is the Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations all over. iHeartRadio, joepags.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. It's all right there. Make sure you so I give you a hard time about the social media all the time, but I don't really update my website much. Maybe I should do that.
Oh, you so should. Yeah, I've had a lot of complaints about that. People contacting me about that.
He's so full of it. It's not even. It's so unbelievable when you do that kind of garbage. But I got to be honest with you, with all this other stuff going on, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, now the Gab, I got all this stuff. I'm on Snapchat too. It's Joe Talk Show. I don't do anything on Snapchat. I don't even really know how to do it. But I don't know. I mean, the website is almost just a portal for people to go there and then find the social media. Or should I update the website too? The thing is, I'm doing all of this stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, Glenn has 300 people working for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Here it's me.
I know. You are a staff of one. Yeah.
Don't give me a look.
I'm not giving you a look.
By the way, the contract is in. More stations in Sacramento.
Really? Ooh, exciting.
It looks to me like
when?
I'm not sure the date it's going to start. I probably should know that.
Yeah, you should.
Is that important to know what date it's going to start?
It is. Yes, as a matter of fact.
So what you're saying is I should probably know when it's going to start?
You need to know that. Mm-hmm.
Actually, 2 more
when
stations.
When did they start? Yeah.
In California. One I can't announce, but one is in Sacramento.
Cool.
And we've been working with this station for a while to try to get on there, and it's going to be, I believe it's going to be midnight. We're going to be on midnight to 3 a.m.
Okay.
So for those of you bopping around in Sacramento, California, hankering for your Pags and what's her face, going to be midnight to 3 a.m. in Sacramento on KSTE.
Nice.
Which is a great radio station. We're very happy to be going there. Another one in California. I don't know that I can say the other one yet.
Go ahead, say it. Say it.
You're saying go ahead and say it?
Say it.
I don't want to get us in trouble.
Oh, all right, fine. Then don't say it.
We don't want to do that, do we?
No.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying there's another one out there too in California. It looks like we'll have 4 or 5 stations in California soon.
Wow, that's pretty excellent.
And you know what that tells me? It tells me California really isn't filled with a bunch of high moonbeams. There really are some good people in California. Unfortunately, the governor isn't one of them. I'm just going to put it right out there. I think the governor Moonbeam is ruining the damn place, and he needs to stop it. Do you refer when you have a news story on California? Do you call him Governor Moonbeam?
I do not.
I wish you'd start.
No,
it's only right.
So.
It's only right. The people. That's
Governor
what the people
Jerry
want.
Brown.
It's what the people want.
Can't do that. Can't do that as a journalist. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call you that, but
stop. I knew you were going to say that.
You didn't know that.
Well, as soon as I said it, I knew you were going to say that. Yes, I did.
Let me say hello and welcome to Rudy in San Antonio. Rudy, what's going on?
JP.
Rudy.
What's going on, brother?
Talk to me, man.
Hey, I was going through the web earlier, and I seen something about Michelle in there when she said about for the first time in her adult life, I turned it off. But I'm going to say something about that. I'm not going to say for the first time. I've always been proud of this country, Joe. Always.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I have nothing against this country. I love this country, but I do have a lot against the people who run it, especially the one that we got up there now, and the one that almost got in there.
Yeah.
I think we would have went we really would have totally been screwed if she would have got in there.
Agreed.
What she did, or what she's saying, happened to her, that she lost and stuff, all that is her fault because she left herself wide open. Leaving those on her, whatever those things that she's got, tablets, whatever. I mean, they got hacked in there. They got in. And she's trying to blame everybody else like they always do.
I agree, 100%. This is exactly what the story is, and the people have fallen for it for so long. I'm actually kind of stunned that they didn't fall for it this time. People are actually more concerned, Rudy, for jobs. They are more concerned for believing in the country and for patriotism, and we just have been overloaded with this far alt-left crap that finally we stood up and we did something right.
I mean, Joe. I mean, she's stupid. How can you be doing stuff like that on your phone or whatever, and especially in a foreign country or wherever she was at? You know, and expect not to get somebody tapped into it. Come on, man. Obama was over saying about Trump that he was whining and stuff, and he's the one who's whining. What they need to do is call the wambulance. That way they can take them to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood where it's all fine and dandy. Love the show, brother.
All right, man. Take care, Rudy. We love when Rudy calls in. You got to give the people the update to the Killeen ISD story because this thing has had a couple of faces on it. Yeah, and just to give some quick background, and it might be redundant with what you're about to read, but just to give a little quick background, Killeen, up where Fort Hood is in Texas, a teacher in an elementary school decided to put a picture of Linus from Charlie Brown from the Peanuts comic strip. They have, of course, a Charlie Brown Christmas, which has been around for, 40 years, if not longer?
At least.
Yeah. So she decided to take Linus and put a picture of him up on a wall or something. And along with Linus, the Bible quote that's in the cartoon, it's Christmas Charlie Brown or whatever the hell it's called. And she puts it up there along with the Bible verse, which is an actual quote from the show. Her principal sees it, says we have to take that down because it violates the separation of church and state. The next thing, does your story actually say what the vote was at the school board?
I do not believe
because
so.
The school board voted. They said, well, let's put it to a vote because the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, who we had on the program here to talk about this, said, look, there's something called the Christmas law, and you can't tell people in the public square, including schools or in government buildings, that you can't have Bible quotes either said or posted. That's a law in Texas. So for some reason, the school board of the district took a vote, and it was like 6-1 against having that quote on the wall. So they kept it down. Well, now it's gone to the next level. Go ahead.
From WFAA, Judge Jack Jones of the 146th District Court in Bell County ordered Killeen ISD Thursday to restore a poster that included a biblical verse recited by Linus in the TV special A Charlie Brown Christmas. The ruling's in response to a lawsuit filed on behalf of Patterson Middle School nurses aide Deidre Shannon. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton joined the lawsuit Wednesday. Paxton argued the state's 2013 Merry Christmas law means schools can't silence a biblical reference to Christmas. In 2013, former Governor Rick Perry signed what became known as the Merry Christmas Law. At the time, Republicans touted the legislation as a law that protected the rights of anyone to publicly express their faith. And the poster depicts Linus in the quote, "For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord." And the school principal told Shannon to remove it. On Tuesday night, School Board Vice President Corbett Lawler made a motion to study and develop new guidelines for making Christian references at school, a motion that would postpone any immediate action regarding the poster in question. The motion passed 6-1. Killeen ISD released the following statement Thursday evening. Christmas and winter celebrations and messages are important to our community, and the board's actions taken on Tuesday directing district administration to develop guidelines for employees underscore the board's commitment to this effort. And despite these efforts, we found ourselves in court Thursday afternoon. And Bell County 146th District Court ruled in favor for the door covering to be displayed at Charles Patterson Middle School. The following text must be added in letters as large as the other letters. This is Shannon's Christmas message. No other relief was granted. We believe that directing the individual to include the additional text better complies with state and federal law. We support this decision.
All right, so good stuff. Now, I was able to get a hold of the judge, Jack Jones, to talk about this ruling a little while ago, and here's just a little bit of the interview. We'll play the whole interview later.
Oh, cool.
No, this is, I don't know if you knew that I got a hold of him because,
I did not know that.
Well, Jack Jones is good people. The judge, I remember from the 70s, Love.
No.
Come on. Exciting and new. He sang that Love Boat theme. Come aboard. Come on, Carrie, let's go.
No, I'm past.
We're expecting you.
I did love the show.
Oh, love. Come on, sing it with me. Life's sweetest reward. A little echo, okay. Let it flow. Come on. It floats back to you. Everybody. The love boat. So we'll be making another run. Okay, that's enough with Judge. You killed it. You did great. It was wonderful. I mean, we had the judge. We had Jack Jones. He sang. I had no idea the judge's name was Jack Jones until you said it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I hope the story takes longer. I got to find the Love Boat. Hold on, this is great. All
I was
right.
wondering why you weren't interrupting me. Or
No, you
anything
killed it.
during
You
that
did.
one.
Yeah, you normally I'd be like, stop. I got to say something here. Come on, the Love Boat. We have to make it happen. The people, every once in a while, you got to just break into song.
I know.
Now the guy in Minneapolis, and by the way, great singing. The guy in Minneapolis, probably the guy who thinks he gets the show now is now going, why is he singing the Love Boat?
I know. Like, I'm turning it off now.
But we have to make a promo out of that, man, because I mean that guy with the whole, oh yeah, no, you were right. I didn't get it. I was like, yeah, right, whatever. And now I get it.
That's awesome.
Karina, if you don't mind, can you pull the audio of that guy? If not, I can grab it later. I definitely want to post that where the guy says he didn't get it, now he does get it. That should be like our logo, the Joe Pag Show. You won't get it until you get it, dude. Right?
You won't get it till you get
it. That might be the line.
That could possibly work. That could work.
I'm gonna have to make a promo out of you singing too.
No.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. If we're looking to drop a couple of stations, I'll promote that. 1-800.
That's wasn't bad.
Oh, you rocked it. 383-9624. JoePags.com. Stay right here.
Don't be an A-dub. Stay with the Joe Pag Show.
Hi, great to have you. Welcome. It is the Joe Pag Show, Free Speech Friday edition. So let's get at some phone calls before it's time to get out of here. Gary, what do you think? Phone calls?
Definitely.
Make that happen. Let me go to John in San Antonio. John, what's happening?
Hey, Joe. Sorry, man, you caught me off guard. I was calling just because I wanted to say Merry Christmas to you. I wanted to say Merry Christmas to your family.
Thank you.
To everybody there. And the reason I'm calling is because I want to say Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays.
Good.
And that's why I'm calling.
Well, listen, I'm going to say Merry Christmas right back at you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. And I want them to hear this in California. I want them to hear the words Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays.
Well, they're definitely hearing it. They're hearing it all over the place, including Alaska, Hawaii, California for sure. So, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm saying Merry Christmas to everybody. A Jewish friend of mine just sent me a text during the show who's listening, and he said, hey, if I don't talk to you, Merry Christmas now, next week. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying it. It's okay.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to call. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas, and I want everybody to hear that and not this PC crap that says Happy Holidays.
Well, John,
So,
you made it happen. Right back at you. We appreciate you, brother. No, there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah, you wanted to call in. Now, but the first part of the call I don't get. He's like, I was caught off guard. Well, you called me. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, I think he was still thinking he was on hold because I think he was trying to talk to somebody else.
Because then I said, hey, John, you're on the air. And he said, oh, you caught me off guard. I'm like, well, you called me, John.
I know, but while he was waiting, he was doing some
Act like
other
you don't know what the
business.
hell's going on. You called the number.
That'd be nice.
Did we call John? We didn't call him, did
to
we?
wish you a Merry Christmas.
All right, Merry Christmas, John, whatever. Let me go. No, we appreciate him calling in and doing that. Ed is in Tulsa. Ed, what's going on? Hi. Ed, talk to me in Tulsa.
How you doing? I want to say Merry Christmas to you, too.
Back at you.
And the people out there in Sacramento will really love you. I lived out there for 35 years until Moonbeam ran me out. Now I'm in Oklahoma.
Well, we appreciate that you're with us, my man.
I've got a hypothesis, and I'm sure you might be able to see if I'm on the right track. Now, with all these little BS games that the Democrats are running and all this and everything, now, if you remember, when they questioned the president, when was the last time you knew that she was doing her stuff in the State Department? He came up with, I have this number, and then they found out it was a number months before, okay? Now, then another time it came out months before that. Now, are they trying to do whatever they can, circling the wagons, to get this all screwed up and get her in there so that when Sessions gets in and starts searching and everything, that it don't lead to him too, and they all fall down?
Are they doing all they can to not get her in there, or to get her in? You mean to give her the presidency?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? They're trying to do everything and anything they can to get her in here because the way I'm looking at it, they know that once these real people start doing real investigations into these paperworks and this stuff, that this trail is going to take probably every 9 of them top people right down with them.
Yeah, no, as much as I hear what you're saying, I don't think there's any way possible that's happening, and here's why. There is no scenario in which Hillary Clinton ends up being the president of the United States. There just isn't any. Even if these 50 electors don't vote for Trump, she still doesn't win the presidency. So that's not going to happen. I think what they're doing is, and I appreciate you, Ed, thank you, out of Tulsa. I think what they're doing is they are setting up a scenario by which we can say, or they can, the alt-left can say, the media can say, the Democrats can say, even the rhinos can say, well, he's the president, but not really. And then they're going to do everything they can to delegitimize anything he tries to do and to try to get him out of office as soon as humanly possible, either through some sort of impeachment process or in 4 years just completely, oh, look how horrible this was. He never really was the president anyway. I think that's more likely what's going on. Let me go to Roy in San Antonio. What's up, Roy?
Hi, Joe.
Hey.
God bless you, brother.
Right back at you, man. What's happening?
From another mother.
Appreciate it. What's happening?
I misinformed you a while back.
Okay.
It's only been a year. You said it's 3 years, and I couldn't wait till 2019.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I have a question for you.
Yeah, come on.
Journalism. I was taught in grade school, it's who, what, when, where, how, and why.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that when you go out and observe as a journalist, that's what you do. You keep a journal of what you see and you answer those questions. Absolutely.
All right, then. So when he's playing sax for the Spurs again?
We're not slated yet, but normally what he does is he calls me like the day before going, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? So, I mean, hopefully it'll happen soon. I played last year. I haven't done it yet this year, but we hope that it's soon, Roy. We appreciate you. Thank you. Open line now. 1-800-383-9624. Scott, do it in about 30. Go.
Hey, Joe, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Keep Christ in Christmas for one thing. And a little bit about Michelle Obama's little thing with Oprah. I took it a little bit different than what I think a lot of people are looking at. With her little giggle and smirk at the end, I perceived it as that we lost the hope because of the last 8 years.
No. She would, because that would have been an insult to her husband. As much as I can hear where you're coming from, I can't agree with that. I mean, she was clearly talking about Trump, but I appreciate you, brother. Wish we had more time. Let's do some pop culture. Bye. Don't have much time, Karina. What's happening?
So John Legend did an interview with a French media outlet, and they asked him about Kanye. No, he did not.
Okay, go ahead.
And they asked him about Kanye West meeting with Donald Trump, and he said he was really disappointed in Kanye West for meeting with him, and that he thinks that Trump used him as a publicity stunt.
And so John Legend, would he turn down an invitation? Did they ask him that?
Yeah, they said that he doesn't agree with anything that's in Trump's mind because he has a very corrosive message.
I guess he's in Trump's mind now. Okay, for Karina, for Carrie, for Paul, we appreciate you. Joe Pags, back on Monday. See you then.
This is the Joe Pags Show.
All right, good job, brother.
All right, clear.
Good job, man. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Joe. Have a good weekend.
All right, people, back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. We'll see you then. Bye.